Hey, good people. Happy Sunday to everyone. Grand rising, all that good stuff, right? I hope everybody's doing good. As for myself, I'm doing great. I woke up this morning. All praise to the Most High. Uh, I see it's a beautiful day here in the Be More area. Yes. Listen, before we get into it, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure it says all so that when I go live, you all will get notified. Listen, I am talking about trauma, part two. Okay, this is the part two edition. Okay, and hey Terry, how you doing? Thank you for tapping in. Mm, excuse me, y'all. I'm sipping my coffee. I subscribe to that channel too, Terry. Yeah, I enjoyed that video that I watched. I sure did. Listen, y'all. This is part two. If you didn't see it, there's a part one on here too that you can check out dealing with trauma. And I wanted to come back and talk about it again because it's so much to this, right? It's so much to this thing we call trauma. It really is. And our traumas keep us. It hinder us from doing so much. It hinder us from loving other people. It hinders us from loving ourselves. It does so much, right? It attacks so many issues in our lives, right? And so that's why I wanted to come back and talk about it again. But I won't be doing it. I won't be on here an hour. I didn't know that that video lasted that long. I really didn't. But it did. But that's all right. It's some good information in it for those who will tap into it. It's a lot of good information in it. And I hope that y'all get something from it. Um Please leave comments and tell me what your thoughts on the video and stuff. Because I would like to really hear it. Yeah, that's the one I looked at. I looked at that. Yeah. And that's what I want to talk about. But I brought this back again because I was looking at the trial, some of it anyway, some of the trial from the cult leader nation. What did he call himself? Nation something. Cult Nation. I think I'm saying it right. And he ended up getting life. And I wanted to come back because that's another situation where it's trauma going on. Okay. Yeah, he has an issue too. He has issues too with traumas. Now I don't know his history, but I'm just going by what he did to those young folks that he talked into coming to the to his group, right? Um and yeah, I'm looking at what he did to those women, what he did to the men, right? He just basically, uh, how can I put it? Destroyed their life to a certain extent. Now, some of them are getting therapy and stuff, but he really, you know, he really messed them up in so many ways. And that's trauma. Remember when I was explaining to y'all that trauma will make you do different things? Well, the way he got those people into the cult, into his so-called cult, right, was that they were searching for something too. They was missing. They didn't love themselves. Okay, And because they didn't love themselves, they started searching for something. And they really didn't understand what they were searching for, but they were searching for something because something was missing. Okay. If you was looking at the closing, quite a few of them spoke at the end of before the judge sentenced him. Quite a few of them spoke about what was going on with them. And if you were listening, they were stating that they were searching for something because something was missing. And trauma makes you do that, right? When you're dealing with trauma, trauma makes you make bad choices and decisions. It really do. And that's how he was able to get them over the internet, right? They were young and vulnerable. Okay? Because trauma make you vulnerable in a lot of ways. Just like trauma have you not trusting people, right? But you have like he had a way of talking that made them feel like that was the answer for them. Nature Boy, that's his name, Nature Boy. He had a way of talking which made these young people uh attached to him, right? And it made them want to go where he was at because they thought he had the answers. They really thought he had the answers, right? And I think they thought that this was something that they were going to, that he was going to be able to help them through whatever it was that they was going through. They thought they was going to get help. I think they was thinking this was going to be like a therapy group. And when they got there, Nature Boy did something else on them. Okay, he did something else to them, and he brainwashed them. You know what I'm saying and stuff. So, and it messed them up in so many ways. Um, he controlled them. He found ways to control them and everything. And like I said, when you're dealing with trauma, it causes you to do things, make bad choices and decisions. You see what I'm saying? And that's what he did. He got them to tap into him. And once he got them there, he did a switcheroo on them. And he started brainwashing them and using techniques to have control over them. You know what I mean? That's what he did. And so by him doing that, he messed them up. He messed their minds and stuff up. Then he was violating them. I don't know if he violated the men, but he was sure violating the women. You know? So I don't think I don't think any of it was right, but I wanted to come back and talk about it because that's what I was saying in the first part of my trauma video. I was stating that trauma does things to you and it makes you make bad choices and decisions, right? And this is how these people, Nature Boy, got these young people to come to him, right? Because he was saying all the stuff that he needed to say, right? And and the things that he was saying opened up their ears, and he got their attention, right? And once he got their attention, he said he was saying all the right things to get them to come on out to him. And once he got them there, he took advantage. He brainwashed them. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. But that came from trauma. That came from that came from trauma. Okay, these people had trauma going on. You know, they really did. And you could tell that they had trauma going on with them. Because there's no way, if they love their self and stuff, there's no way they would have went to Nature Boy. Okay? Anybody who loved their self wouldn't have gave Nature Boy the time of day to do anything to them, to bait them in like that. You see what I'm saying? So these young people had trauma going on. And once he got them there, right? See, when you're not loving yourself, that's what happens. When you don't love you, right? You end up going to somebody that's no good for you. You end up getting close to somebody that's no good for you, right? Because you don't love yourself. And what really, we may not know the whole story. I don't know the whole story, but what baited those young people into him was that they are, how can I put it? They are, they were lacking stuff, missing stuff. I heard one of the guys say he didn't have a father. He didn't have a father figure. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, traumas make you end up making you do things that you don't, it end up making you make bad choices and decisions in your life. If you don't heal from it, if you don't get therapy and try to heal from those things, you end up falling in the wrong person's hands. And these people fell in Nature Boy hands because Nature Boy was traumatized. He was dealing with trauma. And that's how it usually happen, right? Hurt people hurt people. These young people were hurt. Some kind of way they was dealing with some trauma and they was hurt. And that's how he was able to uh that's how he was able to bake them in the way he did. Because they were, because they were hurt and they was dealing with trauma. Real talk. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's how that went. That's how he was able to get them. And if you pay attention, he was a narcissist too. You could tell Nature Boy was a narcissist. Not only was he dealing with trauma, but he was a narcissist too. It was a lot going on there. And I hope that them young people will, I hope they learn from it. And I hope that they turn their life around. Because them young people were really, really messed up. He messed them up. And he was making babies with them. And they say he was positive for HIV. I don't know how true that is, but allegedly that's what they were saying. That he was you know, passing that around. And I know some of the girls got pregnant by him. Just sick. He was sick. You could tell he was sick by the stuff he was doing and saying, You could really tell that he was sick. And I'm gonna tell you something. It was sad how so many people watched him and thought it was funny. And I think that at first when I never watched it, but I seen little clips of it on other people's channels. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. At first, I thought they were skits. I thought they were skits because people do all kinds of stuff trying to get clicks and views. They really do. So when I first seen it, I can't remember who channel it was, but when I first seen it, I thought they were skits. I really did. Hmm. And come to find out, it wasn't skits. This was serious stuff going on. It was so sad though. He broke all them young people down. He broke them down. And the sad part about it is that he didn't have no remorse after he did it. No remorse whatsoever. He in the courtroom laughing and stuff like it was all a joke. It was all a game. And then when Judge asked him, did he have anything to say? He gonna try to tell the girls that he still love them, no matter what y'all do, how y'all do it. I still love y'all. I love y'all so much. You know, still trying to manipulate the situation. That's what he was doing. Trying to manipulate the situation. I'm telling you, it was messed up. But I hope those young people, bounce back from it. I hope they get the help that they need and so they can heal from that trauma. Because that's what they need. They're going to need to heal from their trauma. That whole thing was sad. But I'm going to tell you what really pissed me off about the whole thing is that look how long it took for them to break that down. For them to get nip that in the bud. But if it had been other culture of people, I don't care what nobody say, I stand 10 toes down in it. If it had been other cultures of people, they would have been on it. They would have been on it. He would have been behind bars. He would have been behind bars. But because it wasn't, because it was the melanated family, okay, the family that everybody seems to hate, he got away with it for a long time. That's crazy to me. He got away with it for a long time because, everybody is against the melanated people. And it's the truth. Everybody's against the melanated people. And that's why I always say, melanated family, get therapy, get therapy, get therapy. See a psychiatrist, everything. Because we need it. We need it because trauma is coming our way every day, every single day. We are dealing with some type of trauma. And that's just the truth. Racism, that's trauma. That's trauma. That's trauma that we deal with every day. Every day we dealing with racism. That's trauma. Okay? So we need to get the help that we need to get so that we can become healthy. Because the trauma breaks us down. And the longer that we, don't get the help that we need, it's going to continue to keep breaking us down and breaking us down and breaking us down. That's why we do some of the things that we do. That's why we do a lot of the things that we do. And what I mean by that is that a lot of us be cooning. We be cooning and we want to, have a seat at that table. We want to have a seat at that table. Just got to have a seat at that table. Where these people don't like you. They don't care for you. You know it. But you want to have that seat at that table with them. Because you feel like they're going to make you feel special. Please. That's why we need help. That's why we need to work on our traumas and stuff. Because if you don't, you're going to continue to do these same things over and over again. You're going to continue to repeat it. You are. You already know how these people really feel about us. You know it. But yet you keep wanting to sit at the table with them. And like I say, I'm going to repeat this again too. That's why we don't love each other like we should, because of the trauma. The trauma is beating some of us down. And you need to fix it. You need to fix it. That's something that you need to fix. Because that was so sad with that whole situation right there with Nature Boy and them young people. That was a sad situation. But I was touching on it because it can be used for what I'm talking about, which is trauma. You know what I'm saying? That's something that can be used. But they really, really, really messed them. He messed them young people over. He really did. Some of them got babies by him. I said, I hope that was a lie that he's HIV positive. I hope it's a lie. Hmm. I really do. Tori said, Miss Lisa taught me the great life lesson of some people staying on the broken parts of another person's life because they can't stand on their own. That's right. That is so true. Hmm. That is so true. And the crazy part about it is that some people don't even realize it. They don't even be realizing that they can't stand on their own. They don't even realize it. They know they be trying to stand on the parts of another person's life, right? They know that part, but they not going to even acknowledge the part that they can't stand on their own and why they can't stand on their own because the traumas interfere. The traumas interfere in a whole lot of ways. I'm telling you, it really do. It interfered in so many ways. And that's why a lot of us run from talks like conversations like this, like traumas, us talking about traumas, us talking about um unhealthy relationships, us talking about low self-esteem, because that's something else I'm coming with. Low self-esteem. I'm gonna talk about it. But some of us don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it and we don't want to talk about it. You know why? Because it hits home. It hits home for a lot of people. That's why you got people that don't want to hear it, don't want to talk about it, because it hits home. And it starts to make you feel vulnerable, right? Just like if some people listen to the videos, I'm talking about trauma, right? It's going to make them feel some type of way. It's going to make them feel vulnerable because the things that I've said is true. And some of the stuff I said is going to hit home for some people. It's going to hit home and it's going to start, uh, you know, it's probably going to start shaking the house, shaking your house. That's why people end up running when you having a conversation about certain things. People run. They run the opposite way from it because they don't want to accept it, right? They don't want to listen to it so that they can get something out of it. See, if you listen to things, you can actually take and get something out of it that can help you. Or something to hit home and you'll say, damn boy, that sound like me. That sound like me. And I definitely need to get some help with my stuff. You see what I'm saying? And go get the help that you need. Some of you can help yourself by just being honest with yourself, right? Some of us can really help ourselves if we just learn how to be honest with ourselves. But some of us not going to do that. Sad as it is. Some of us are, we not going to do that. Because we don't want to be honest with ourselves. We don't want to feel vulnerable. Some of us don't want to feel vulnerable. And when you start telling truth about yourself, it makes you feel vulnerable. It do. But I hope that people wake up and listen to some of the things that we talk about over here, because it will help you. It will help you, and it will make you, if you get the help you need, you're gonna want to become a better you. You're gonna want to be a better you, and you're gonna want to do better. And in order to do that, you gotta fix you. You gotta fix you. You gotta tap into yourself and fix you. It's not hard. Some of you make it hard, you know, but it's not hard. Some of you just make it hard. And I'm gonna try to get some people on here on my channel so we can like have panel discussions, right? I don't reach out to too many people because uh some of these people is crazy. I gotta be honest. Some of these people on this app is crazy. Seriously. And they don't know how to be friends with another person, right? If it ain't nothing but YouTube friends, they don't know how to do that. Excuse me. So I'm kind of skeptical about who I mess with, who I talk to and stuff, you know, because just being nice to a person can cause so much chaos. It really can, you know, because, you know, some people got traumas, like I said, and because they got traumas going on, and you try to be nice to them, and they take it to a whole nother level, right? Because they trying to get clicks and views. You just trying to be nice. I'm just not with it. That's not something I want to do. I don't want to be trying to get a click and a view from arguing and fussing with somebody. It's so many things that I can talk about, right? Where I don't have to be arguing and fussing with somebody just because I'm trying to get a click and a view. I don't want to be a part of that. And so it is what it is, you know. I'm just drinking my coffee, y'all. It's so good. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get some people, find some decent people where we can come on here and talk about traumas, you know, or do some interviews of people who have went through some traumas, and maybe they might want to talk about it, right? They might not be scared to talk about it and let it out, you know, and maybe they'll share with you what they went through and how they got through it, you know, so you can get some motivation to want to do it for yourself. It can be done. I did it for me. It can be done. Hmm. It can be done. You just gotta want to get gut level honest. Okay? And when I say gut level honest, that's what I mean. You gotta reach down in your inside, right? Down in your gut and pull the information out and pour it out. That's what you gotta do. You gotta be honest about it. Not telling lies. Because telling a lie about your traumas is not helping you. It's not going to help you. So you just something you can't do. You can't go in this, if you're trying to heal, you can't go into it telling lies. You just can't do that. You cannot go into it telling lies. You got to go into it being honest, open and honest. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because it's so much to trauma. It really is. I would like to have a panel, like I said, where I can get some people up here and we talk about it, talk about Trumps, talk about it. Each one of us can give where we've been at, and what we've been through. Because melanated people, we need that. That's why, like I said, that's why we have so many issues where we can't love one another, right? That's why we so against each other because it's trauma. It's trauma. It's a built up of trauma. It really is. It's a built up of trauma. And you got to learn how to, you got to break that stuff down. You got to break it down so that you can, you know, bring it out, bring it all out. Because you want to start healing. You want to start the healing process. It's a process. And you want to start the healing process so that you can start to love you as well as loving people that look like you, melanated people. Because that's the problem. We don't want to look at a person that look like us because we can't stand ourselves. We don't like ourselves. We don't like ourselves and we don't love ourselves. And because of that, from traumas, when we look at somebody who looks like us, we don't like them either. But we love those people that don't look like us. We love them. And them people don't like us. Y'all better wake up. Them people don't care for y'all at all. Okay? Better wake up and recognize that. Because if they did, the things that's been going on all this time wouldn't have been going on. Eventually, somebody would have stood up and said, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Even if it was some of their people, somebody would have stood up and said, enough is enough. And they haven't. I'm getting ready to go. I love y'all. I will be back on here later on. Um, listen. Listen. Save yourself. Stop looking for somebody to save you and save yourself. Okay? You do the work, you do the necessary work on yourself. Guess what? Your whole life will change. Your whole life will change if you just do the necessary work that you need to do on yourself. Your whole life will change. But stop looking for somebody to save you because can't nobody save you but you and the Most High Yah. That's it. That's it. That's it. And the quicker that some of us realize that, the better off we'll be. The quicker that we realize that the quicker that we start doing something about our traumas so that we can learn how to love ourselves as well as loving our brother or our sister, right? Hey, things will start to come together. That's why we have a hard time coming together because the trauma, the trauma is whipping all of us up. And some of us don't want to do anything about it. We don't want to do anything about it. And that's why we have such a hard time having unity, loving each other. It's because trauma has a lot to do with it. Excuse me. We have to wake up and do what we got to do. And that's fix us so that we can start to love ourselves and then we can love each other. On that note, y'all, I'll holler at y'all and I'll see y'all later. Love you all. Stay blessed. Please repent so you can save your soul. I'll holler.